It's been another huge year for tiny houses, and as 2022 now comes to a close, it's time for us to take a look back over the past year and some of the incredible tiny houses that we've had the privilege of featuring. This has been a massive year for us. After not being able to travel for 2 years, we finally got back on a plane and filmed some great episodes overseas. We also completed the build of our brand new travel model tiny house, which we are just so excited about and cannot wait to take on the road in the new year. But without further ado, it's time to take a look back at some of this year's highlights. To find out more about each of these homes, you can find links to the full tours in the description of this video. First up, we have Tom and Caro's incredible off-the-grid tiny home. Constructed entirely as a do-it-yourself project by the couple and inspired by permaculture principles, this tiny house is packed full of the kinds of features and attention to detail you only ever see in DIY builds.
This house is actually just memories, because we've built everything. So I remember when we laid the floor, I remember when we did the couch, and it's all bits of memories. Some sad memories, some super joyful memories, some a bit frustrating memories, but every single screw has a memory with it.
Fully off the grid, this home utilizes loads of super clever ideas, including an ingenious solar hot water system and even an additional rainwater collection under the deck.
Yeah, I decided to go with a water harvesting deck. So there's a top in between the joists that harvest the water, and it all goes to the pond where the ducks are sitting, as all the grey water from the house and the roof water as well. And the whole system is also dismantleable, and we can move it away and drive with the deck when we want to move places if we ever want to.
There are some super fun elements that I loved in this house too, like the dog drawer, which he can access all by himself.
I did a bit of a drawer there. It's actually on ball bearings, and he has a bit of a rope, and we told him to pull it out when he wants to drink or to have his food, and so we really like it. He doesn't know how to push it back yet though, so we're working on that.
Ultimately, so much thought and attention to detail has been poured into this house, making it a truly fantastic build. Next up, we have Vicky's incredible tiny house, which is not only a beautiful home, but also a wonderful story of overcoming adversity. After losing her house and everything in the Christchurch earthquakes, she packed up her bags, moved to Australia, and built an entirely new life for herself, which included constructing a dream tiny house on wheels.
After everything you own is destroyed in an earthquake, you begin to question why you're putting so much money into things and space, and all of a sudden, all of that's gone. So it really made me reassess, what do I need, what do we need? And simple is just much more freeing.
Beautifully situated amongst the Sunshine Coast tropical forest, this tiny home has been wonderfully designed around Vicky's lifestyle. One of the things I especially enjoy about this home is the fantastic interior decoration, which almost mimics the forest surrounding the home.
I spent many hours searching for the exact right print that I wanted on the wall, and I actually imported it from the Netherlands, so directly from the artist. It's just so relaxing, and yeah, I love it.
Losing her house and all of her possessions in the earthquake has encouraged Vicky to build a new life focused on the things that are truly important to her, with an emphasis on personal happiness, not material possessions.
I've wanted to live like this for a long time. I really believe in living more lightly on the earth and with nature and in a peaceful setting. And I find stress affects me much more harshly than it used to before the earthquakes. I can't deal with stress like I used to, and I just want to be calm. And so I've always had the opposite of chaos as a catchphrase in my head.
There's a whole lot to love about this brilliant tiny home and the inspiring woman who built it. Situated in the beautiful ski town of Oakuni is Evan's amazing small home, which is like nothing we've ever seen before. This spectacular home is constructed with structural straw, which is then rendered with lime, giving the home an incredibly unique shape. It's almost as if it's been carved out of a giant rock, and aptly, it gives its home its name, Pumice.
When we take something as elemental as straw, which is a waste byproduct annually available, and we fashion it right from those raw materials right through to this sort of result, it's way harder and it's way more involved. But by the same token, it's probably equally as refreshing to be involved with.
This method of construction not only provides fantastic insulation value, but also unparalleled flexibility and creativity when it comes to creating the shapes of the home. Indeed, with this house, it looks more as though it's been carved than built.
I think it comes back to the fact that there is no definition between the wall and the roof. It's all just encompassed in that curvy nature. So that sense of safety and security is definitely all encompassing. And if the fire's going and we pull the curtain, it is pretty luxurious for sure.
Pumice is an example of a home which is a true labour of love. This small home is just as much a work of art as it is a functional house, and Evan's skill as a builder is evident throughout this wonderfully innovative project. High above the cliffs of Dunedin and overlooking the South Pacific Ocean is a tiny home that's in a league of its own. Matthias and Lucilla only had incredibly limited building experience when constructing this home, but the end result is nothing short of mind-blowing. In a world where the cost of housing is rapidly increasing and even tiny homes are sadly becoming more aspirational than affordable, stories like this one are just so important.
We used a lot of reclaimed materials. So yeah, the design adjusted to the money, the time and the resources that we had.
Actually, I think I discovered like a natural instinct. Now I can be on the road and say, 100 meters, there is a skid bin.
This beautiful home was constructed for less than $20,000 US, which shows that with a lot of hard work and thrifty material sourcing, it's still possible for a tiny home to be very affordable.
That morning when we woke up for the first time, it was a great feeling. This dream is come true. And nowadays I'm still living the dream. Every time I wake up, I'm surprised of where we are living, and I'm always looking forward to come back to this place.
This home isn't only affordable though, it's also astoundingly beautiful. So much creativity has been poured into this house. Every fixture or piece of furniture is a piece of art and tells a story. Every item has been lovingly handcrafted, and you can certainly get a strong sense of that whenever you're inside this home. And last, yet certainly not least, on the outskirts of Melbourne, we have the stunning Cocoon tiny home. I'm constantly surprised at how even after almost 10 years of filming this show, I can still be amazed by brand new ideas and features. Shani and Christian spent a tremendous amount of time planning their dream tiny home, and it shows in the final result.
It started off with a professional builder, but we ended up finishing all off ourselves with the help of lovely friends.
Like literally we've had blood, sweat and tears go into this house.
Mixed in together,
all over the place.
like, as one disgusting liquid. Yeah.
This home boasts an extra high sleeping loft thanks to a clever pop-top roof design, giving the couple, and even me, the ability to fully stand in the loft.
It's nice to be able to walk up in the loft. We do notice a lot of tiny houses have crawl-in lofts with ladders. No offense to them, but we just didn't want to crawl into bed and out of bed. And yeah, just there's a lot of design elements in that choice.
Both working from home in their photography business, Shani and Christian have also created an especially ingenious dual desk system which allows the couple ample workspace during the day, but which also neatly tucks away into a clever and very multifunctional lounge storage area. So in the evening, work is out of sight and out of mind.
We actually have the little round coffee table, but also a larger dining table, so we can share that with friends, the space with friends, and have dinner.
Yeah, it can also be moved out the way if we need to. We got a nifty little removable caravan coach arm. So yeah, the whole space is transformable.
This home is not only clever, but has also been beautifully constructed. From the striking metal and Sushugiban cedar monochromatic exterior to the forest mimicking green and curved timber interior, the styling in this home truly makes it stand out from the crowd.
Chris's one stipulation with this house was no white walls.
No more white. I've lived in white houses my whole life and just done with it. We kind of landed on a description which is mid-century modern Australiana cabin.
Yes, that's our definition.
I'm not quite sure what that aesthetic is, but I am sure you have completely nailed it in this house because it just looks beautiful. Ultimately, small space living works when you make sure you truly take your personal needs into consideration in your build. And this is a fantastic example of what can happen when you really get it right. 2022 has been another year filled with adventures, and we want to take this opportunity to say a huge thank you to everybody who was featured on the show this year. We also want to extend a massive thanks to you, our incredible viewing audience. Without you, what we do simply couldn't be possible. It's because of your love and support and watching our show every single week that we get to do what we do. So thank you for that from the bottom of our hearts. In January, we're going to be taking a short break from releasing videos while Rasa and I have our heads down working on a revised edition of our new book, which I am so excited to share with you in the new year. 2023 is already filled with promise, and we cannot wait to see what the year will bring. So from us to you, we wish you a very happy new year, all the best for 2023, and we cannot wait to see you again next year with brand new tiny house adventures. We'll see you then.